Welcome to Creative Conversations powered by the Black Houston Creatives Network. We're coming to you live from Cool Dad HQ, and it's your girl Timberlynn, and we are here with another creator from Houston. I'm here with Miss Mikayla. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. So for those of you who don't know who Mikayla is, you can look around, obviously. She's an artist. So thanks for sitting down with us today. Looking forward to getting to know what you have going on.
I'm excited. Thank you for having me.
So tell us a little bit about how you got into being, these paintings, being an artist.
I kind of come from a creative family on both sides. I've been painting and drawing since I was in elementary school, but I've been an athlete my whole life, so art was always just like a side hobby, something I did in my free time. I was a psych major. I graduated from the Tuskegee University in 2024.
Okay.
And then after that, I transferred to Texas Southern to be back home to play for my last year, as well as being an art major, which I feel like that decision changed my whole trajectory on being an artist and even seeing that was a possibility, and making it more than a hobby. I did my first oil painting my freshman year of college, and I haven't picked up an acrylic bottle since then.
Nice.
And I just, been experimenting with stuff ever since.
So what's the difference between the oil and the acrylic?
It's much easier to blend oil,
Gotcha.
and I always used to say I could never paint people or draw people, but now I'm a figurative painter, so that's literally all I do. But it's easier to go over mistakes because it's still wet, so you can move it around. You can experiment a little bit more. I feel like it's less permanent than acrylic that dries in 30 seconds.
So what's your creativity behind whenever you're getting ready to do a painting? What's the thought process behind it?
I'm a really complex person, so a lot of my paintings have really deep messages behind them.
Okay.
I get an idea at the most random time, and I'll write it down in my notes. And then as soon as I start the painting, I have an idea of what I want it to look like, but it almost never goes how I had planned. But some way, somehow, I always come back to the original concept and I end up executing it. So
Gotcha.
I don't know if I have a set answer. It just kind of comes to me as
So what's your setting when you're getting ready to paint? Do you maybe have a glass of wine? Is it silent? Do you have music playing? How does that process look for you?
I love music. I have 27 playlists in my phone, all depending on my mood.
Gotcha.
I recently had a studio with Project Row Houses, so it was my first set space for me to work. I would be blasting anything from Selena to Hannah Montana to
Everything.
Mariah the Scientist. It depends. I even would play Key Glock in there depending on how I'm feeling.
How you feeling for it? And is that depicting, deflecting into your images for that day?
Yeah, a little bit. So this painting over here is the most recent one I did, and I've been really on my activism, Black power sort of thing. So I obviously wasn't playing Hannah Montana when I was painting that. I was listening to Gil Scott-Heron and Jill Scott, stuff like that. So it definitely does kind of impact the vibe. Yeah.
Now, does some of these paintings kind of reflect your experience, things that you have lived through, or the certain environment that you may have grew up in?
So recently I started a self-portrait series.
Okay.
This one is actually the last in the series, and it was supposed to be a real inside look on me because I'm, I guess, labeled antisocial, I guess. Resting face. So I felt like this was my first very personal body of work. That one technically wasn't a part of the series, but I brought them because I feel like them together is a good contrast of me as a person. I'm very light and airy.
Yeah, for sure.
But then I also handle business when I need to. So yeah, that's what I've been working on recently is a self-portrait series. So it's been real personal.
And where can people, are these displayed anywhere? Where can people order?
I'm in the process of trying to do the whole website and everything. I am having a show on January 23rd at Project Row Houses, the end of my residency. And then 2 of my pieces just got accepted into the Kane Gallery National Show in Corpus Christi as well. So I'm just been kind of getting ready for those.
Gotcha. So what words would you give other maybe inspiring artists out there? What words would you give them of encouragement?
Honestly, I would just say go for it. I recently made a very big decision to quit basketball to focus on my work. And so when I did that first show, actually with CC Creations, in December, I've had so many opportunities since then, and I kind of got a glimpse of what my life could be like if I devoted more time to it. So honestly, just keep going, because I never would have imagined that I've done all the things that I did in the past year.
Yeah.
And there's room for everybody.
Yeah. So do you ever experience like any type of burnout?
A little bit. After doing that one, I was kind of like, okay, I need to take a break or something, because, you know, like certain pieces can kind of bring out certain parts of you, I guess. And the piece like that, you know, was really heavy with everything going on in the world. So I had to like take a break from looking at the news and stuff like that, and kind of just going back to my sketchbook just to draw for fun, you know, so I can get back to the funness of it instead of, you know, it can get a lot, especially when you put so much of yourself into your painting. So
For sure. And you said this took a lot out of you. So tell us a little bit about this one.
So this is called Judith in Holofernes. I don't know if everyone is familiar with that story, but it's from the Old Testament, the book of Judith. And basically she decides to save her town from a conqueror by kind of working her way into this camp of the general, and she ends up cutting his head off while he's drunk, passed out. And she saved her town from destruction. And of course, my painting is not a literal like incitement of violence, but it's really just about a call to action. You know, a lot of things have happened in the last year. And I think it's important that artists make their stance known and they speak up in times like this, because art, you know, it has the power to impact people, start conversations. So like things like this, I've had people, you know, say, oh, this is over the top. And I'm like, well, you know, why? Why do you feel that way? You know, like, you know, just talking about certain things like that. It's really just about change. Honestly. Yeah, doing what I can. I feel like artists have a bit of a moral responsibility to reflect the times. And so, you know, say 100 years from now, they look back at this painting, that gives 2025. You know? Yeah, and this was my first, I guess, overtly political painting. I initially told myself that I wasn't going to do political paintings as a Black artist, because I was like, we just get so much of like the trauma and everything. But I realized that being a Black artist is inherently political. So it's like I might as well be intentional about it. So
how would you say being in Houston, how has that influenced your creativity?
I was born and raised in Houston. My dad lived in A-Leaf, South Side, and my mom was on the North Side. So I kind of got a little bit of both. But just the last year, specifically being in Third Ward at TSU, I've gotten exposed to the art scene a little bit more. And I really didn't know that the art scene really went that deep. So even just having my studio down there, being able to, you know, just witness things, be more observant, I guess, because, you know, growing up in a city as a kid is different than exploring it as an adult. So I've kind of grown more of an appreciation for it. I'm also trying to start a series of like Houston-based paintings and things like that. It's just trying to find references that really is the problem.
So there's so many murals around Houston. So like, what would you say is like your favorite? Where do you like to visit?
I'm more of like, I like nature, and nature tends to bring out like that level of calmness that I need to kind of think about things. Like I will sit in complete silence and just like stare at a tree in my backyard, and I'm like, oh, you know, and then it clicks. I got to go write it down immediately before I forget. But I kind of get inspiration from a lot. I consume a lot of like artist talks online, artist interviews, digital exhibitions, just to try to deepen my knowledge. You know, I'm an art history buff. So yeah, Houston has a lot of history that I'm still learning.
So is there anything else that you would like to tell the world out there?
There is one thing. I would say when you know what you want to do, it really only has to make sense to you. I feel like a lot of people waste time trying to explain to people why they're doing it, how they're going to make it happen, and that's draining, you know, and that energy could be put towards what you want. So it only has to make sense to you. That's all.
I understand. And one more question. Is there like a certain artist that you look up to?
Right now there is a couple. Titus Kaphar, Mario Moore, Amy Sherald, and Khalida Rawls. Those are my top 4 contemporary artists. If I had to pick one who isn't still around, Barkley Hendricks.
I Nice. Well, I definitely appreciate you taking the time to sit down with me today.
Of course.
And I look forward to your art show. You said January 23rd. And where is it at again?
At the Project Row Houses Communities.
Project Row House. We're going to drop it below so y'all know where to go. But if you are a Black Houston creative and want to lock in with the Black Houston Creatives Network, DM us on Instagram at Black Houston Creatives. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And make sure you follow our guests. Tell us where your Instagram is.
It's Art by Malik, art by .Malik on Instagram and TikTok.
And make sure you follow the host, XOXO_yours truly. Bye.